Hi guys, welcome to another reading video, and for this video I'm so excited because I am going to read pink, red, and white books for Valentine's Day. Now, I also might fudge the rules a little bit if I want to because it's my video. So basically this video is going to be stuff that relates to Valentine's Day. So if it's got romance, it counts. If it's pink, it counts. If it's red, it counts. Now, is this video going to be up on Valentine's Day? Who knows? My editing schedule is abysmal, but it will be up at some point, and it should be in February. As it is Valentine's Day, it is the season of flowers, chocolates, and promises you don't intend to keep. But it is the season of books, and so for the first promise I don't intend to keep, I'm going to read this book. Now, see, I promised in an earlier video that I was going to read it after I finished editing all of my backlog videos. I have not, but I have a headache, and I'm tired, and I could be editing tonight, but at the same time, I am feeling not great, and I just want to lay down and read a book, and I've been kind of slumpy because all I want to do is read this book, and I've told myself I can't read it yet because I have this arbitrary rule. So we're gonna read this book so I can read other books. Capiche? Capiche. So this is better than Revenge. I was gonna say better than the movies. It's not better than the movies. This is Better Than Revenge by Kasie West, and I am so ridiculously excited to read this book. I have had it on my TBR for like a month, and that's only because I've been saving it for this video, specifically this video. So all I know about the plot is that we have our main character, Finley, and she wants to be a podcaster. And so she wants to join her school's podcast team, but something happens and the spot gets taken by her ex-boyfriend, I think. And so she wants to get revenge. And who better to do revenge with her than her ex-boyfriend's enemy? That's all I know. All I know is I love Kasie West though, so I'm very excited to read this book, and I'm very excited to read the rest of the books in this video. So we'll see what I put on. I have a bunch of books on my TBR that if you watch my TBR video, which who knows when that's coming out, you'll see that I have a lot of pink and red books on that TBR, so you'll probably already know what I'm reading if you were paying attention or cared at all. Who knows? Anyway, I'm gonna get to reading. Hi, greetings. I finished reading Better Than Revenge last night. I binged it, honestly, in one sitting. No, I didn't finish reading last night. I read a bunch of it last night, and then I came back from work and I read the last like 45 minutes of it-ish. And it was so fun. I loved it so much. I read a review dumbly. I looked up reviews before I read the book because I was just so excited to read it. And I was thinking about, because it includes a podcast as part of the plot, which she has another book called Listen to Your Heart, which includes a podcast too. So I was thinking, is it like the same school, like, or is this like a different place? And so I was trying to figure out if it was the same school, not the same school. Kind of read a review that made me not look forward to the book as much, which I'm actually kind of sad about because I think I would have enjoyed it, not more. I really enjoyed it, but it just kind of made me feel like, oh, like let down my expectations for the book. But it was a really good book. It was a really good book. I enjoyed it. I liked the plot. I liked the romance, and then I also really liked the plot with her grandma, and I really liked the then and now timeline almost. It's not quite, but kind of, but it's not then and now with her. It's like her grandma's romance back in the day. It's really cute. I liked it a lot. I liked the plot. The review that I read said that it lacked the depth that a lot of her books have, but I disagree. I think it has less of it for one specific character because I feel like it was giving more to her and her grandma as like the depth of the book, but it was really good. I did really enjoy it. I think I'm giving it 4.5 stars, at least for now. It might go up depending on if I keep thinking about it, but mostly her books start out at like 4.5 or 4 stars for me, and then they either go up to 5 star or they stay at 4. Either way, but still really good. Loved it a lot. And I decided I wanted to pick up Borrow My Heart by Kasie West, which is her other previous release that she's had. And I'm really excited about. Why does this one fit the prompt? Pink hearts. Valentine's Day has hearts, so this counts. The plot of this one, I don't remember, because I read this book when I was supremely depressed, and I was in a book slump, and I was like, surely I will love this book, and I didn't because I was depressed. Gonna be honest. So I'm excited to reread it with my newfound non-depression. And what I remember of this plot, it's a girl doing some sort of fake dating scenario, and she works at an animal shelter with dogs. And I remember a dog named like Oscar is one of the main plots of this book, which was really cute. And I don't remember much else, and I don't want to remember much else because I want to go into this as blank as possible because that's more fun, you know? Anyway, I'm excited to read this one next. Hello, my people. So, I read this entire book without talking to y'all once. I'm sorry, I don't know how I can make it up to you, but this is my video, so it's fine. Anyway, so I reread this entire book, and funnily enough, as I was rereading it, I remembered so many elements of the plot. Like, I think I read this book, and for some reason my brain remembered most of the plot, but assigned half the plot to a different book and half the plot to a different book, and neither of them I remembered as being from this author in this book. And so when I was reading it, I was like, oh, I really like this book. Like, it's really good. Like, I think it might actually be like really close to a 5-star read because it was really good. It was cute. I was like giggling at the romance. I liked the side plots, the characters, like relatable, and I was like, okay, I'm really liking this. I don't know why I don't remember it at all from the first time I read it, but I do remember I was depressed. So the plot of this one, as far as I can tell you, is that Ren is the main character, and she's like kind of a control freak because of mommy issues. And she works at a shelter and she helps dogs, but there's one dog, not named Oscar like I thought he was. His name is Bean, and he's just like this grumpy dog. And so she's like, what can I do about this? That's the side plot. The other plot that starts the book out is that she's chilling at a coffee shop where her best friend works. And this is not the right part. Okay, and it just goes back to immediately where it was before. I'm sorry, I'm really distracted right now. Anyway, so she's chilling at a coffee shop where her best friend works, and she sees these two guys come in. One of the guys has filmed the other one, and it seems like he's trying to bust him for being like, hey, this girl's catfishing you, and I'm gonna prove it. And so the girl, Ren, while she's sitting there, is like, this guy's being so mean to his friend. I can't handle this. And so she goes to the back, changes her clothes, walks back in, pretends to be the girl who catfished him. Except she did catfish him, but it's like not the same person. And so from there, this whole thing starts up because I'm really bad at synopsises. Anyway, it was really cute. I really liked it. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna rate it yet because I'm not slumpy, I'm just a little bit anxious brained right now. So we'll see how I decide to end it. I did really, really, really enjoy it. I liked the ending a lot. I actually cried, honestly. I am so sick of my hair today, but that is neither here nor there. I think it's at least a 4.75. At the lowest, this is a 4.75, but we're gonna leave that there. All right, now I have to pick the next book I want to read because I am feeling in a reading mood lately. I've just been reading books back constantly, and I've been really enjoying them. I'm going in between Magnolia Parks and a book named Charlie. I think I'm gonna pick up this one. Neither one of the options I just told you is this book. This book I picked up from the library like 2 days after I made my TBR video. Otherwise it would have been on my TBR video. And it's called An Inconvenient Romance by Shallon Linton. I haven't read any books by her. Apparently this is a new book and I know nothing about it. Apparently it's a former friends to lovers, and honestly I don't want to ruin much more for myself because I like going into these as with nothing in my brain as much as possible because it's more fun, you know. But I will pick this one up and see what I like about it. I don't know, I pick up these authors because I'm like, what if I'm gonna enjoy it? Because I like Regency romance as a genre. It is really fun. I like reading a lot of them, but some of them they just do not hit right, and that's most of them. They don't hit very good. So we're gonna see how I feel about this one, I guess. So I talked to you about every single book except this one. I am currently sitting on a playset for fun, you know, because you need to read somewhere different sometimes. And I did not pick up any of those books I told you about. I instead picked up First Day by Ali Condi. Now, I have read this book before. Apparently this video I haven't read any new books, which was kind of the point, but that's fine. I think I'm going to change this video to being just like mostly the month of February because why not? Who cares? It's my channel. There's a guy walking around and I don't know what he's doing, but I think he's trying to figure out what's going on with the sprinklers because they're on for some reason. But I'm like trying to keep an eye on him because I'm worried. I don't think he's looking at me though, so that's good. But I have several escape hatches if needed, which is good. We good. I'm just perpetually scared as a girl. So this book, I have read it multiple times. I love this book so much. This is the second book in the yearbook series by Ali Condi, and I adore this book. It is so amazing. It follows the characters in the first book, but just like one of them as they go on a mission, and then one of them in college, and then there's a couple other characters thrown in there that you get to know along the way. And the main character in this book, Andrea Beckett is honestly one of my favorite characters in the whole world because she feels like me and my soul. Anyway, why does this book count? Red, Valentines. Also, there's a romance in this book. It counts. Also, I've been wanting to reread it, so whatever I say goes. Anyway, I'm about like, I don't know, 20 pages in. Yeah, 28. I just started reading in the car today, but I've been wanting to pick it up, and I've also been feeling like just depressed in general lately. So we got to read a book that I really, really love, you know? And I literally started reading it and I started crying like immediately because I just love the character so much, and it feels like coming home whenever I read something from their perspectives. It's just, every word feels like coming back to an old friend because I just love these books so much. Why? I don't know. They're just part of my soul at this point. Hello. Where are you going?
I'm looking for the number 9 path.
Yeah, do you want my map?
Yeah, sure, I'll trade you phone.
Okay. Hello, my people. So, I did tell you I was reading this book. Yes, I did. Sorry, I've been like not filming this week because mental health is mental healthing, so I've like been trying to do less, but I've been working my way through my reread of First Day and I'm loving it. I also cut my finger earlier while I was slicing a bagel, and it's painful, and it was also really dumb, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. But that's why there's a big blue band-aid on my thumb, because these are the strongest band-aids I have, and hopefully the stickum will last for the rest of the day. Anyway, I am like, oh, exactly 200 pages into this book, and I love it. I've been reading it, and I'll just like pick it up, and then something will strike a chord in me. I'm like, I remember reading this. I remember these words. Like, every word feels like, I already told you, it feels like coming back home for some reason. And so I was reading it and I was like, oh, this is making me feel so happy, and I love the love story in this book, and I love Joel. Favorite character ever. I also love Dave, but that's a separate thing. Anyway, I love this book. I love the characters. It's making me so happy to reread this book, and I don't know when I'll finish it, but I did start another book, which I'm going to include in this video, but for a funny reason. So I have the second City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. It's like the second book in the Mortal Instrument series, and I just started listening to it at work because I needed to use my Spotify listening hours before it reboots, you know, my plan renews. So I was listening to it at work, and I realized that the main character's name is Valentine. Not main character, the main evil villain's name is Valentine, and I just think that's funny. So we're counting that for this video because I'm probably going to finish it within the time frame of reading all these other books, but I thought that that was ironic that it just happened at the same time. Also, I wanted to show you at church on Sunday, what is it called? The priesthood came and they gave flowers to all of the girls. And my flower, let me tell you, it went through it because it got left in the car accidentally, and I just didn't give it water all day long. And when I brought it in, it was all wilty and sad. And so I have like this like reinforcement on the stem so it doesn't fall over, which I don't think it'll fall over now if I take the reinforcement off, but I'm just gonna leave it on. But it was like all wilting and sad. Like it was like this, and these leaves weren't happy. And then I put it in water with some sugar like overnight 2 nights ago, and it's beautiful. This is like the most beautiful rose I think I've ever seen in my entire life. And like all of the petals, I thought this one specifically was gonna fall off. It's fine. It's totally fine. All the flowers are fine. Anyway, do that if you have wilting roses, because apparently that worked wonders. I also sliced the stem off, so you need to recut the stem, and that really helps it soak the water up. I think I'll add a little bit more sugar to the water today. I didn't want to leave it in too long because I know it can grow bacteria, but I have been changing the water every day just because I like this flower. I don't want it to go bad, so I might add some sugar water into it later today. Anyway, this counts in this video because I want to talk about it, and I'm not doing a weekly vlog. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. I'm excited to finish reading this book at some point. Keep reading the book. I've been giggling, but I need to do editing later, so anyway, that's my updates. I have 6% of battery left. This is not a good time to start a clip. I also forgot to check and see if my charger was empty. It's so empty, my portable charger. I have no juice left in that thing. That is unfortunate. Anyway, last night I finished reading First Day by Ali Condi. Last night? Yeah, last night. It was so good, like always. Wonderful, 5-star read. And I have been continuing listening to, what is it called? City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. And I'm actually really enjoying it, which is surprising, although I did have to look up the one thing that I know is a huge plot twist because I knew it wasn't real. I knew there was no way that she was still like making this happen if it was real, because otherwise like this would not be as popular of a series as it is. So I looked it up. The one thing that everyone hates is not real, so that's good. Now I don't have to like worry quite as much, which is relieving, but it's still like, why in the world did you make this your plot line, and why in the world is this so popular? Anyway, but that means I finished my physical book, so I'm gonna start reading, yeah, Charlie by Jack Wayland. this book I found at the library. Well, actually, I found Sam, which is the sequel to it, first at, not the library. Yeah, I found that one at the library sale, and I bought it. And then I was like, oh, there's another book I have to read first. And so I finally found this one at DI a while later. And so now I'm going to read it because this one counts for this video because it is pink. And I'm 90% sure it's a romance. Also, it is so short, and I kind of just want, like, a short book right now. I do not remember if it's a happy book or a sad book. I'm kind of going in, like this. Like, I don't know whether I'm supposed to be super happy for all these characters and, like, oh, this is a cute little romance, or devastated when one of them dies. I actually do not know which way it's gonna go. So we're gonna figure it out. It is Valentine's Day today. My hair is still up because I just took a shower because I'm running late today, but that's okay. It's a little bit insane right now. It's fine. Anyway, I have been reading books. So I finished listening to City of Ashes, I think, by Cassandra Crowe. That's the second book in the City of the Mortal Instruments series. Let me just say, I am now invested, but not for the reasons I should be. I'm invested because it is playing out like a TV drama with a bunch of stuff that you're like, oh my goodness, why is this happening? But I am invested. I am hooked. And it's not like, I'm not like enjoying it, loving it hooked. I'm just like, what is going on? I don't understand. It's interesting. I looked up the plot, and so now I'm like, stuff that I wouldn't have known before and wouldn't have gotten on my nerves is getting on my nerves because I'm like, lady, you know the author. I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, I understand why people love her books, and I'm gonna keep reading them because I'm like actually genuinely invested at this point, but it's just so funny to me. Anyway, I'm now on City of Glass, so I finished City of Ashes and basically just picked up the next one on Spotify because I had some more hours, and now I'm out of my Spotify hours, but thankfully I have the City of Glass on my TBR, so I'm probably gonna pick that up like tomorrow because I want to know what happens. But I also was reading Charlie, and this one I would pick up just every now and then, and it took me like maybe 3 sittings to get through it because it's super short for one, and for two, I just wanted to keep reading while I was reading it. So I think all in all it took me maybe 2 hours to read across 3 different times sitting down reading it. But it's so before I told you I didn't know whether it was going to be a super cute love story or like she dies and it's tragic. It's both. And that's not me like spoiling stuff for you because it literally tells you on the very first page that she's dead. So that's fun. But it's definitely like she's a manic pixie dream girl. Do you guys know that term? If I look it up, I'll put the definition here, what it means. But according to my knowledge of the term, it's like, if you ever read Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli, she's a manic pixie dream girl. It's like a girl that comes into the guy's life and sparks him out of his reverie because she's so funky and weird and does all this stuff that's not like really what you're supposed to be doing, but she's like, look at me, I'm so cool and I'm doing this because I love it, and it like makes the guy get better. And I think in all of the manic pixie dream girl, he doesn't end up with her. Like, he goes on to marry someone else or something like that. I don't know exactly, but in all the ones that I've read or heard of, that's what's happened. But that's definitely what's going on in this one. It's just like him recounting his life in marriage to this girl named Charlie, and I think they were married and knew each other for like 5 years or something like that. And honestly, I don't know how I felt about this. On one hand, I was so entertained. On the other hand, I was so disgusted by many of the main characters' choices. It was like same reason I was reading this one is because I'm like, what is gonna happen? What in the world can she make happen to these characters next, you know? Or I guess him. That makes sense. That makes sense. It's a guy. That makes a lot of things make more sense. Anyway, it's not like as good. I'm so sorry, Kaylee from middle school. Why did you love this book? Why did you tell me to read this book? Like, I get it in middle school that I probably would have liked this book better in middle school, but at the same time, this is not great literature, for sure. I say if you want a jolly good time, sure, but this does not represent my church very well, and it does not represent a lot of stuff very well, including how relationships should be. I don't know, I feel like the main character guy had an anger issue, honestly, that never went addressed, ever. And now I get to read the second book, which is called Sam. And I'm gonna, because I want to know what happens, but I'm also like, what in the world? What else can you add on to this story? Like, I don't understand. Maybe him getting remarried, maybe, but like at the same time, I don't think I'd care about that unless he marries another manic pixie dream girl. I don't know. Anyway, 3 stars because I am middle of the road. I guess 2.5 would be middle of the road. I'm more than middle of the road, I guess. I did enjoy it, kind of. 3 stars. It was just, it happened for sure. Now I don't know what I'm gonna pick up because it is actually Valentine's Day today and I'm about to go on a date with my boyfriend with stopping wet hair apparently. I have a lot of options. I'll probably come home and choose one later, but I wanted to show you my Valentine's Day because I'm not filming a vlog right now and this seemed like a good place to film what I got for Valentine's Day. So number 1, I did have a rose that I got on Sunday, but it was doing fine. Well, number 1, I can't remember who I told. It was my last vlog that I filmed. I told that I left it in the car and it got all sad and wilty, but then it perked up again after and it was like totally fine. And it looked totally fine. It was super happy for like 2 days and it just went ooh, again. I was like, what? So I cleaned its water and I changed it and I recut the stem and I gave it some more like flower food, which is just sugar. It just kept drooping and I'm like, okay, whatever. So now it's hanging up to dry because I do want to keep it because it was a nice rose. But my boyfriend also got me a chocolate rose, which funnily enough, I didn't know he was getting me, but I actually really wanted one because I saw them in our local store, but he went to when he was at my favorite store up north, he did find one for me and he got it for me, which I think is so fun. So this will be fun later. I'm going to stare at it for at least today before I eat it though. And then he also wrote me a cute note. And then this is the bear that I wanted myself. I took him to the store and I said, I want this bear. And then I was like, what should I name it? And so I always look at tags when I name them. And it's S. Rose Brown Bear. And so now it's Sir Rose. He's very cute. I like him a lot. And then we were also at DI the other day. A lot of these things I picked out for myself, but that's okay. At least I know I like them, you know? And we found candle warmers. And there was a different one that I was looking at. I was like, I actually kind of want like, it's like a wax melter. My boyfriend's like, I'll get it for you. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, I don't know. I don't like love it. And then he's like, well, are you sure? Like, these are kind of expensive new. And I'm like, yeah. And then I looked behind it and there was this one. Because the other one was like blue or something. It didn't really match my vibe. But I really like this one. And then he also found these little wax melter things that smell like rose. And they're very, very cute. They're just like little rosettes and they're adorable and I love them very much. So I'm excited to use this because I've been loving candles lately. Why? I have no idea, but they've been really fun. And then I also made these bags where I'll probably put the clips in before, or I don't even know if I got a clip. I did go to clip, but the 2 bags together make a heart because I was bored. And also I had blank bags. What else are you supposed to do with blank bags? Anyway, that's been my Valentine's Day so far. I'm probably going to give you a little bit more of it just because I'm not filming a vlog and I think it's fun to film Valentine's Day. We're going to go watch How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and I'm excited about that because I've never seen it and it was also only $5 tickets, which is amazing because movie tickets are really expensive these days. And our thing's at 6:20, so it's in about an hour. So I think we're gonna go grab some food or something. Oh, my hair's so wet. Anyway, I'll tell you what I decide to pick up later because right now I can't read either of my books because my Spotify listening hours are up and I'm really grumpy because I was in the middle of a chapter when it like decided I couldn't listen to it anymore and I was like, why? Also, why in the world do they not just let us listen to books? Like, if you're paying for premium, you should be able to listen to as many books as you want. Like, I know that's not really the software, not the software, but that's like not what you're paying for, but like 15 hours, that's like barely an audiobook. Barely an audiobook. Like, if you're listening to a longer audiobook, 12 hours, that means you can listen to a full audiobook and then you have these awkward 3 hours of like, what do you do with 3 hours? Listen to part of a book and wait till the next month to listen to the rest of the book? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. If anyone at Spotify watches my channel, why would you? But also thank you. Please fix that. Please make it different. Like either make it so we can listen to one full book or like up the hours to like 30 at least. It just 15 is not enough. I listen to so many audiobooks a month. Like, anyway, that's a tangent. Bye. Alright, time to fake a bunch of clips of me reading a book because I have done nothing but read books I shouldn't be reading right now without documenting reading them because they're for a reading video. Okay, so first, I think I have finished Charlie on camera. Yeah, I did talk about reading this. And then did I even mention that I was reading City of Glass? I don't think I did. I think I just said when I start reading something I'll inform y'all, so. Okay, done faking reading that book. It was time for faking reading this book. And if anyone notices I'm wearing the same outfit, no, you didn't. I have to say, this book gives me feelings. Is that all I needed to fake reading for this video? I don't think so. I think so. Hi people, so I've been doing absolutely everything but updating y'all on this video because it is now completely past Valentine's Day. I said I'd update you on what I was reading and I didn't. I honestly didn't. I don't remember if I told you I finished Charlie. If I didn't, I finished that book. It happened. That was something I read. It was so long ago I don't remember. It was like last week and see that's why I need to talk to y'all about these books immediately because they're gone. I don't remember. But I just faked a bunch of clips of me reading a book. Except for one of them. I actually was reading City of Bones. Oh, I told y'all I was reading City of Bones. Because the antagonist's name is Valentine. I remember this happened. Anyway, so I finished listening to the second one and I immediately jumped into the third one because I was like, I need to know what's happening. Because I told you I looked up an important plot part because I was like, I can't keep reading this if something's gonna happen. And let me just say, the thing that you think is happening that you're really annoyed at, but it doesn't actually happen, that's the whole reason why I was like kind of okay continuing the series, does happen. I can't elaborate any further because it'll ruin like an important plot point, but why did this author think that that was a good idea to put in? And this is a teenager's book. This is for like, it feels like it's aimed for like 13 to 15, 16-year-olds. Why is that should not be something that they're talking about at all. Like, that should not be something you're putting in a kid's brain. I don't understand. I think I ended up giving the second book 3.5 stars because I was genuinely like entertained the whole time, but it was not a good book. And then I gave the third book, which I listened to as many hours as I had on Spotify, and then I picked up the book because I had it physically, and I finished reading it in like a day or two. After that, I don't remember the timeline anymore. I'm tired. It's been a February, and February is a month that I despise, so it's been fine. I just got in this really big depressive. This is not for this video at all. This has nothing to do with this video, but I've just been like so depressed and weirded out because my hormones, they control my life and they've decided that they want to make me miserable this month. So yay. Also, I did tell y'all I cut my thumb, I think. Maybe I didn't tell you guys I cut my thumb. I don't remember anymore. Anyway, finished this book and I think I gave the third one a 3-star. I don't remember. I'll tell you at the end when I have my actual statistics for this video. Anyway, this series is done. I have to say it was the most un-Valentine's Day book I possibly could have read on Valentine's Day. And now it is Wednesday, I think, the week after Valentine's Day. And since then, I finished the series. I watched a bunch of YouTube for a while. And then I decided I wanted to listen to an audiobook when I was going to work yesterday. I think I gave myself... No, because I remember what happened. I finished this Sunday. Yeah, I finished this Sunday. And then Monday I was just chilling, doing nothing that included listening to books at all. And so then I started listening to, I can't remember. But in the past couple days, I started listening to Flamecaster by Cinda Williams-Chima. This one was actually kind of on my list of things that I wanted to read this month because it has a red cover and it also got chosen by my TBR dice to be on my TBR. So, red. Also, her books, I read the first series. I didn't realize when I was going into this one that it has several series that are interconnected series. So I read the first series first, accidentally. Go me. My boyfriend recommended them to me, and then I found this book at DI, and I decided to pick it up because I do genuinely enjoy her books. And so I've listened to one, and I think I gave it 4 stars. I gave the first one 4 stars because I did really enjoy the first book. I really like the way that she sets up her characters. I have to say, these books are a lot more kissy spicy than other books, but I do like her writing style, and I like the way she talks about her characters, even though she has like kissy spicy stuff in there. It doesn't feel lusty somehow. I don't understand, because at the same time it's like totally a lusty relationship, but it's like not at the same time. I don't know. I like her relationships in these books, and I get like happy giddy about them. So I finished the first one, I think yesterday or the day before that. I don't remember. Days are blurring together even though they feel so long right now. Hormones, man, they're terrible. Anyway, so this one, 4 stars. Did really enjoy it. And then I decided to listen to the second book in the series, which I finished earlier today when I was at work, or just after I got home from work, or 5 minutes ago. I told you, time is terrible for me right now. I don't remember. I've been cleaning my room for the past hours, so time has no meaning for me anymore. Anyway, so I finished listening to the second one, which has nothing to do with this video because it does not relate to any of the qualities to make a Valentine's Day book. But I have like one more book that I really want to read for this video. I guess 2 more. So this video is just going to keep going through the entire February. through the entirety of February because I think I have 1 week left, and I probably am gonna end up getting to all of those books because I'm gonna be in the mood as soon as my room is clean. Anyway, that's my updates for you. I'm probably gonna finish listening to this series because I have all the audiobooks because I could just get them back to back on Libby, which is lovely. So I've just been listening to those books nonstop for the past couple days. So I'll get back to you when I have a different book for this video that I'm reading. I also started reading The Things I Wish We Knew Before We Got Married by Gary Chapman, which I don't think I'm going to include for this video, but I just thought I'd mention that I also have been reading that book on and off this whole month. So we'll see if I finish it this month or just through the year I'll pick it up. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? Who actually knows? Hi, it is not quite as, oh my goodness, I can't. That's better. It's so bright. I wanted to sit and look at the clouds, but I forgot that there's a sun right there. And it's really, really, really bright. But the clouds are so pretty. Anyway, I decided what book I want to read next. I can't even, like, get a good angle because it's so bright. Well, I probably need the vitamin D, so that's good. Anyway, this book called An Inconvenient Romance by Shallon Linton. I got this from the library on a whim, just for funsies. And it's due in like 2 days, so I need to read it so I can return it. It looks really short. I don't think it's on audiobook, otherwise I probably would have already gotten it on audiobook because I listen to so many audiobooks when I'm at work that it's just easier. Anyway, I'm gonna start this one and see if I enjoy it. This one counts for this video. I forgot that I need to tell you why I'm reading it. This one counts for this video because it has a red spine and it literally says romance, and Valentines is about romance. That works, right? Yeah, okay. You want a bunny butt?
It is a bunny bag.
A bunny butt. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. A bunny butt.
Two.
So I'm reading this book, right?
Reading the book.
Reading a book. I'm reading a book. Don't you ever interrupt me while I'm reading a book. No, you can interrupt me. So it's a Regency romance. So these are always like the Jane Austen-esque kind of ones. They have like 3 plots basically, but they're like done differently. So like, I'm not really looking for the most amazing plot in the world, but this one is so dumbly put together. It's supposed to be childhood friends to lovers, basically. So like they knew each other when they're childhood and they were friends and they've always been in love with each other, and now they're at the age where they could actually marry each other. And the author's like, I made these characters and they already have too much chemistry. They already like each other. They already know that they like each other. They know they like each other within the first 100 pages.
Yeah.
Normally that takes like the whole book.
Okay.
And then they already have too much chemistry. Like, you enjoy seeing them together. So she's like, well, what do I gotta do? She has 17 different things that are why they can't be together. And I'm like, can't you just pick one? Like, any one of them would have been fine. But she has number 1, the main girl, she had already decided she liked someone else because the other guy hadn't said anything yet. And the other guy also has this, like, thing left over from his dad, like, trauma or something that he has to unpack. That's already 2. Those 2, I was like, sure, this is a great plot all by itself. And then it enters in the fact that the girl realized that she likes her childhood friend more, and she's like, well, I want to marry him, but she gets blackmailed by this old lady who has a daughter that's like the same age, and she's like, stop flirting with him because I'm gonna tell everyone that your dad didn't call for the doctor when your mom was dying. Which I don't even know how that's blackmail. Like, I'm like, obviously she has no bias within to blackmail those people. So I'm like, why is this even a plot point? Why is she so worried about this? So obviously this girl's like, well, I'm not going to tell my dad about this. I'm not going to tell anyone about this. I'm just going to, die slowly and be sad about it. So then the guy asks her dad if he can court her. And then she's like, and the guy says yes, the dad does. And so he's like, great, I get to court this person who I fell in love with and I'm so happy with. And then she's like, wait, Dad, you did that? No. And then she can't tell her dad why she can't marry him because she's playing blackmail, basically. She says, I don't love him. And so now she's sad because she told her dad she didn't love him. She could have married him because she did like him. It's just this whole thing. And so now they're in this forced proximity where they're at, like, I know you don't care, where it's at, like, a house party. And so they have to interact with each other. And so I'm like, I'm only 80 pages in and all this has happened. 80 pages!
So much has happened.
So much has happened, but also nothing's happened, because I'm like, we haven't changed the status quo at all through all of this. There's also 5 pages of nothing but blank pattern in the back of this book. What is the purpose of that? And there's only 204 pages. Anyway, I'm confused. No, well, and the writing isn't also the best, but it's better than the one book I was reading earlier where I was really grumpy at it. Yeah, so it's still better than that.
You're silly.
I know. Hello, people. I finished this book. I don't know how much of the clip I'm gonna leave in of me talking about this book to my boyfriend, because I did give spoilers for the book to him because he doesn't care, he's never gonna read it. But just to summarize my feelings on this book is only like 200 pages long, 204 pages long. Yeah, so much stuff was in this book. So much stuff was in this book. Like, the first setup to this book, I was like, oh, that would be really cute. Liked it. And then it changed the setup again within 40 pages. Like, it went from, I'll tell you what the first thing is, because I think it says it on the back. Yeah, I'll just read the back to you. So, the countryside of England provided an idyllic background for Charles Brumley's and Lee Hastings' childhood. Neighbors and best friends, the pair passed many happy days racing through the rolling hills of Derbyshire. Everything was perfect until Charles ruined it all and abandoned Lee for a university. 6 years later, the former friends are thrust into each other's paths once more. Lee had been looking forward to the ball, an opportunity to further her acquaintance with the handsome Mr. Wilkins, but when she sees Charles' familiar face through the crowd, her traitorous heart leaps. Charles faces his own struggles. He has loved Lee since he was 15 years old, yet it seems he is too late. It appears that her affections are otherwise engaged. As the pair tentatively renews their friendship, the spark between them is undeniable. After so many years apart, Lee endeavors to reconcile her feelings toward her once cherished companion, but when a conniving rival for Charles' attention approaches Lee, the threat is clear. Give up her association with Charles, or a devastating secret about her family will be revealed. Faced with an impossible decision, Lee must make a choice. The ruin of her family or the ruin of her heart. Can you hear, just in that, how many random things got thrown into this book? Let me count them for you. So, they grew up together as childhood friends to lovers, and then they got, like, separated and supposed to be, like, childhood friends, but now they're enemies, back to lovers. That's the main thing, right? And then it throws in another person. Sure. I was like, sure, great. And then she gets literally blackmailed. Another thing thrown in. With just those, I would have been fine. But then another thing gets thrown in, and another thing gets thrown in, and another thing gets thrown in, and then another, until the point where, like, and it's because the characters have too much chemistry. They like each other from the get-go. You know that they like each other. In, like, the first 5 pages, they're already, like, super happy to see each other. So then they have to break it up because they're too happy already. The author's like, well, great, I made a heroine and a hero. I made my main characters like each other too much. What am I supposed to do now? I don't know. How about I just make a bunch of random obstacles in their way that don't really make sense and never really connect together, and then the thing that you're waiting to understand the whole time, which you aren't waiting to understand the whole time because she, like, literally tells you multiple times, and then she, like, drops it as this big reveal, but you're like, girl, you already told us this, like, 5 times. Why is this a big reveal? And then the way it was written made me feel like I was reading, like, a really poorly acted out play where, like, the dialogue is too big and the actions are too dramatic, and you just never really feel the characters in your soul, and you never get to know them really. See, I was entertained because I wanted to know where it was going, but at the same time I was like, I don't care. Like, I could have stopped this in the middle, except that it was only 200 pages long, and I was like, I don't want to stop it when I'm 100 pages in because I only have 100 pages left. Like, I don't know. And then when they did get together, I was like, great. Cool. Is this book over? Like, I don't know. Don't really recommend this book. I'm glad I read it though, because I'm trying to read more authors this year. I did read a lot of authors last year, but I want to continue to expand my horizons of authors that I enjoy. And so this one probably will not be one of them. Anyway, 3 stars. I've been wanting to read this book. I think it hasn't quite been a year yet. Maybe it actually has been a year, because I have wanted to read it, but I didn't get my hands on it for a while. I started reading Magnolia Parks from a library copy, and then I realized just how much swearing is on just, like, I don't think it swears on the first page. Yeah, it doesn't swear on the first page. There we go. 4th page. Like, the reason why I wanted to read this book is the fact that every single time I heard someone talk about this, Rachel, you're the reason. You're the reason. You and Sarah Caroli. They just say how good the writing is, and they're like, and the writing is so beautiful, and, like, it just speaks to my soul. And so I picked it up. The writing is beautiful. it does speak to my soul. It does make me feel things. It does make me see things in a different way by reading this writing. But I don't like the swearing. And so I had to return the library copy when I was like, I don't know. So yeah, like 100-ish pages in. I got 100 pages in. And then just the swearing got too much for me. And so I was like, you know what? I am enjoying the writing. Why are you on? These are my tippity tappeters. I think they're literally called tappers that I use to sleep because they give you bilateral stimulation. They're called BiTap. If anyone needs some, these help me sleep so much. Actually, this is not sponsored, obviously, because there's no subscribers on this channel. There's no way I'm getting a sponsorship. Anyway, but they're amazing. I've been using them to sleep for probably 2 years now, and they help me so much. Anyway, they just turned on by themselves, and I don't know why. Anyway, Magnolia Parks. I started reading it, and the swearing got too much, so I bought my own copy, and I have put it off ever since. Why? I don't know. I think I just like started reading it. I also started reading it when I was kind of in a bad mindset, and so I was like, I don't want to keep reading it when I'm like feeling this depressed and sad, because it's just gonna make its way into the book, and I'm not gonna enjoy it as much because I'm just feeling terrible in general. So now I guess we're starting it, and this counts for this because it is romance. From what I know people love the romance, but I know it doesn't really become a healthy romance until like the 4th book or something like that. So this is not for children, guys. If you guys are a teenager reading this, parental discretion or your own discretion is advised, because even I am a little bit scared reading this book because I kind of know the stuff that's gonna go into here. The lighting on my glasses is driving me crazy. I kind of know like the stuff that's in this because I read 100 pages obviously, and I am very interested to see what happens. And I want to read it because I've just heard so much about it. Anyway, this counts because it's red and pink, and her dress definitely gives me like, I'm going on a date and it's Valentine's Day. So we're gonna read this book now. I don't know how long it's gonna take me because I think it's like 400 pages long, but it reads really fast. When I was reading before, I just kind of like, I was flying through it. But I got this little guy, which I'm probably gonna need to invest in some more whiteout tape by the end of this book, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to go through this whole thing. If I don't, I'm going to be really surprised, because there's a lot of swearing in this book. So anyway, this is going to be my friend for the next however long it takes me to read this book. I don't know when I'm going to finish this. I definitely want to finish it before February. I think it's February 22nd today, maybe 21st. I don't know what day it is today. I can't even check. I don't have a calendar. That was one thing I wanted. I should give myself a calendar. I'm totally getting off track. Anyway, I want to finish this before the end of the month because I wanted this to be a February Valentine's Day vlog. So we'll see. I've kind of been stalling on a bunch of videos lately, which if you see this one in March, that is why. That is why. Anyway, starting this book now. I get it. How far through am I right now? I am like 187 pages through right now, and I get it. Also, I had to go get someone's playing music out there. I had to get another whiteout thing because mine completely ran out, and I'm probably gonna run out of this one too in like a day. With the way I've gone through so much, it's just, there's a lot of swearing in this book. I get it. I got to a point where stuff happened, and I'm feeling for these characters so deeply. Like, it has been so long since I've felt this way about characters, just like in my soul. Since Sarah Meaden, her characters, they are part of my soul, and it's starting to be that way. And I don't know. I have no idea what Jessa Hastings puts in this writing that makes it feel so real and so much like they're my friends. And I know these people. I'm 183 pages into the first book of this series, and I already know I'm going to read all of them. I'm going to read every single book that comes out in this series. I'm also on the verge of tears about something that happened in this book, and I have to say I don't recommend this. I don't recommend the series. But my goodness, I get why people like these books. I'm like, actually, like, it's making me feel so distressed, this one thing that happened. And so distressed. But I can't wait to keep reading it. I can't. How? I have no idea how she does this. This book is like the epitome of rich people drama, in the way that I'm like, how in the world did they get themselves into these situations? Like, I genuinely don't understand. It's so messed up. So messed. Okay, I get what people say about BJ. I get it. He's so jealous, but it's in the way that's like, I have to forgive him for it. Why are we the way that we are? Are we okay in this book community? Are we okay? Hi, it is the morning now. I am so tired. I just thought that you would want to know that I literally couldn't sleep last night because I was thinking about the characters in Magnolia Parks all night long. I was like falling asleep and I was like, what is wrong with me? Why am I still awake? Why am I like thinking about it this much? Thinking about the characters. Like, it wasn't me like, oh, that was so sweet, that was so cute. It was me like genuinely worried for them. Like, what are they doing now? How are they gonna get out of this situation? Like, because I read it up until I went to bed. I was like, I need to go to bed now. It was like 1:30 or something like that. I'd like wake up or roll over in the middle of the night, and normally I don't dream. I don't like do any of that stuff. But every time I like rolled over or like started doing something, I was fully asleep, but I would have recollections of remembering about this, and I'd start thinking about it again, and then I go back to sleep. And it just, I need to finish this book, but apparently I can't read it before I go to bed because it like distresses me so badly. Now I want to keep reading it, but I need to go to church, and it's not a Sunday book. That didn't matter, it took you 2 weeks to go off and date her. Yes, you didn't change, but you're still the traitor. Oh, come on. I hate it when it all looks good except for one piece. Of course it's at the front too. I need to wash my hair. Ugh. Wow. That piece looks so bad. Because this side looks... Well, I don't really know. I don't have my glasses on. Anyway. Bye. I don't know why I filmed that clip. I didn't need to be filmed very long. I'm like 50 pages before the end of this book, and I feel like getting my reaction is going to be important because this can't end well. It can't. There's no way that this is going to end well for any of the characters, and but I care about them so deeply. I might actually cry. Anyway, I have 50 pages left. Nothing can make this better because these two won't get therapy. None of their stupid friend group are gonna get therapy. Bridget Parks, you're officially my favorite character because you're trying to therapize these poor stupid people. Please don't do something dumb. Please don't do something dumb. You idiots. You're gonna have to talk about that eventually. You can't just brush down the rug. It's gonna bother Magnolia for the rest of her life. It's gonna be a thing in between you. This is gonna be a problem in the next book. There's a reason there's gonna be more books. There's a reason. Okay, we're gonna pretend that that's happy. We're gonna pretend that's fine. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I called this at least 200 pages ago. Please don't. It was all good. It was so good. It was so good. It was all going so well. It was going so well. Of course it couldn't end happy. This is Magnolia Parks we're talking about. There's never a happy ending, ever. Alright, time to read this train wreck. Oh, I can't. You are an idiot, BJ Valentine. A complete idiot. They all knew. Every single person except her knew. I thought it was just them. I thought it was just them who were messed up, but no, it's all of them. I can't. I want to scream. I legitimately want to scream right now. This is so painful to read. This is so painful to read. No. I should not be reading this book when I'm on my period. Oh my goodness. I can't go through that again. I need to call my boyfriend. I need to talk to him, my sweet, darling boyfriend who would never do that to me. Oh, I need a sweet, fluffy romance after that. I can't cry about this. This is a book. These are characters. They're not real. They're not real human beings. This didn't really happen. I am not Magnolia. I'm gonna be fine. Not fine. I need my boyfriend. Alright guys, I am done with reading all my romance books. I just finished Magnolia Parks like 2 days ago, and now I'm ready to give y'all a review of all the books that I read and my thoughts and opinions on them after it's been a whole month, because it's almost the end of February and this video is probably going to come out in March with my upload schedule, so relevance? I don't know her. Anyway, let's go over all the books we read again, shall we? Number 1, can we just take a moment for this beautiful spread for February? Love. And this is my TBR page thing after reading all the books that I read, not just specifically in this video, but a lot of them were for this video. I just want to show you how beautiful it is. It's my sense of completion. It's not good. My TBR needs to be so much shorter next month because I need to keep them to like 6 to 7 books, because it is so bad for me to have so many books, because I've read them all. I have one more that I haven't read, and I have 2 days left in the month, and you know I'm gonna read it. Just because the sense of completion is so big, it's not good. It's not good. Anyway, alright, so the first one I read in this video was Borrow My Heart by Kasie West. This was a reread, and after thinking about it for a while, I rated it 5 stars. Now, okay, my Kasie West books are so interesting because there's some books that are part of my soul, and they're part of my soul 5 stars forever. Some of them are 5 stars because I love her writing, and I love her characters, and I love the worlds that she makes. And this is one of them. It's not like necessarily my favorite book in the whole world, but I love her writing, and as I was reading the book, I was so engrossed, and I had so much fun. Afterwards, I don't have that much connection with the characters anymore. I still think about it every now and then, but it's not like huge. But I've rated other books by her that give me the same feeling 5 stars, so I'm like, I have to give this one 5 stars because I gave that one 5 stars. And giving it like a 4.5 just felt wrong. So it has a 5 star. That could change very easily upon my next reread, which, judging by how quickly I reread Kasie West books, could be, you know, next year or in 5 months. You never know. Then, keeping with my reread trends, I decided to pick up First Day by Ali Condi. I love this book. It's so good. I don't think I gave you guys any sort of a plot summary on this at all. I love this book. It's so good. It really touched my soul, and I do think I was crying at the end of it. Do I remember? No, this was literally an entire month ago at this point. A lot of these books I read, and now I've read other books since then, and I don't remember a thing. But this book I love. 5 stars. Okay, then I finally picked up Better Than Revenge by Kasie West. I adored this book. It was so good. Actually, I gave it 4.5 stars because it wasn't a 5 star on the first read, but I did really, really like it. And I really actually like the Q&A that she had at the end of the book, because I don't think she's had that in other ones before, and it was really fun to read just like part of her thought process, because I don't think I've read that in one of her books before, and that was really interesting. Anyway, the plot of the story, because I told you completely wrong. I can't remember, in some other video or somewhere, I gave an absolutely wrong summary for this book. So I really like this book. I like the tropes. I really like the whole subplot with her grandma. That was really beautiful, actually. I'm a person who, when something's a little too hard for me to think about, I kind of just don't think about it. And then when it pops up in books, I'm like, why in the world is this so, like, resonating with me at my core? And yeah, the grandma kind of did that to me a little bit. Anyway, this was a really good book. 4.5 stars. I think on a reread it might become a 5-star because I really did like our couple, like, quite a lot. I do think her books, not that she's run out of ideas, but I do think she's kind of adopted slightly a different style from her earlier books, but it's still a good style and I still really like it. It feels more like she's matured a little bit, but I did really like it. Plus, honest, look at these. Just look at those spines together. They're so cute. And just the books together, so pretty. I am not one for cartoon covers, but I do love a Kasie West book. Alright, so then I decided on a whim I was going to start listening to City of Ashes. And I wasn't going to include this in this video, except that I figured out that the main the bad guy's name is Valentine. And I was like, that literally fits too well. I cannot not include it. So this is the third book, actually. So City of Ashes is the second book, and so I listened to it. I gave that one 3.5 stars because I was so entertained. But my goodness, the content. This book I ended up giving 3 stars because oh my goodness. I have so many questions as to why she included so many things in this book. Like she made it where it would have been fine. Like the one thing that bothers everyone who's read this book, it would have been fine if she just hadn't included that one thing. The one thing that just made it like, oh my goodness, did you have to do that? Ugh. But the world is interesting. I have thought about the world a lot since reading this book. I do want to keep reading the series because I also do have a couple more of her books on my TBR. I just am so confused. I've heard a lot of people say that they don't like the series. You just have to get through this first 3 books and then the rest of it's really good. So I'm gonna hold them to that because I am really interested, but like, why? Okay, so then I decided to pick up Charlie by Jack Wayland. Now, this book, I gave you a little bit about this, but my friend in middle school, she told me to read this book when we were like both 12, 13, and I didn't, and I've thought about it ever since then. I was like, oh, there was a book she wanted me to read, because I always feel so guilty when someone tells me to read a book, and I say, sure, I'll read it, and then I never do. Told myself I had to read it. So this book is, well, number one, let's just say I gave it 3 stars, because I was really entertained. I wanted to know what was going on, I wanted to know what was going to happen, but there was so much. I said earlier Manic Pixie Dream Girl, but I hold it to that. Manic Pixie Dream Girl. And I'm kind of actually excited to read the second book. But, like, they were both, like, she wasn't a red flag at the beginning, she was just a pixie dream girl, and he was the red flag and responding to everything terribly. I just feel like they changed personalities so many times. I just feel like both of them changed their personality every other chapter, and then it flipped between, like, them being one or them being the other, and he would just, like, would snap to anger like this. I had so many questions. Also, this does not represent my faith very well at all. Like, I know it was trying to, but maybe it was really good for the time where it was written, because what was this, like 1980? 1960s? Okay, 1980. Exactly. That makes sense. It might have been good for the time, but there are better books out there. Read your book instead of this book. That's my review. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, so then I decided to read Flamecaster, because, you know, red. Also, okay, so I'm gonna kind of just give my analysis of this whole series as it is right now. I haven't finished the whole series yet because, so the first book was really, really good. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed being back in the world because I forgot that it was a series, and then I got back into the series and I was like, oh yeah, I remember really liking the series the first time. And then it just, after the first book, it got boring. I just didn't care because the world's like bigger and it follows these like 4 individuals that you meet across the 4 books, and each book is named after the one individual that you meet in the book. And so in the first book you get the main guy and the main girl and then their love story, you know, and it's basically just them two as the people, like the viewpoints. And then you get to the next book and then you have those 2 people and their viewpoints. But the problem is that book doesn't pick up where the first book left off. it picks up like dual timelines. So you figure out like what was happening during the first book with these characters that you don't care about until you get to the end of that book. And then it's like at the end of that book, at the end of the second book, you get to see what happens at the end of this book, which is why you picked up the second book in the first place, because you want to know what happened to these characters at the end of the first book. And so it just feels like you're playing this gigantic game of catch up, and then it happens again in the third book, except that one wasn't quite as bad, but that book was also really long. It was like a 16-hour audiobook or something. I was listening to all these on audiobook while I was at work. That's okay. One thing, I work at a job where I'm very lucky to be able to listen to audiobooks at work and like videos and stuff like that. So I consume a ton of books through audiobooks. So like I'd say about half of the books I talk about I listen to as audiobooks, but I also had a lot of free time because this is an abnormal amount of books for a person to read. Let's just put it out there for a second. Anyway, and then I read the third book, and then that one picks up with characters I just didn't even care about at all for like the first fourth of the book, and then after that you get to see the characters that you knew. But then at that point, all of the characters are separated, because that's the thing that she does, is they fall in love in like the first book that they're together, and then they're separated until they finally get together at the end of the book. So it's like, you want to see them come together again, but you don't know how they're going to, because there's 4 books in the series. So I'm finally in the 4th book right now. I think I have like 4 hours left on the audiobook, which is telling you something that I left it there because I just don't care right now. Like, the characters are finally all getting back together, and I see how they're going to resolve everything, but there's this big overarching mystery that is not interesting. I'm not interested in it, and as we go through the book, I keep getting glimpses of the first series, which I read so long ago I don't even remember at this point, but I keep hearing like, oh yeah, and the characters did this at one point, and this thing happened. I'm like, wait a second, that series was so much more interesting than this series. Like, it's still interesting. I like her writing style, but like that first series was so interesting, and it's the same world too. It's only like 25 years later, and it's just like, it just feels like its interest has gone down, and like all the interesting magical elements and world building and stuff is just gone out the window because it's all politics and scheming. Anyway, I gave the first book 4 stars, the second book 3.75 stars, the next book 3 stars. Who knows what I'll give the 4th book. I do recommend the first series. I really liked it. I do think the second series is kind of important to figure out the whole overarching plot of the whole world. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I can't give my full review because I haven't finished the series yet. But anyway, that's my unfinished thoughts on that book. Okay, we have 2 left. So we have An Inconvenient Romance by Shalyn Linton. I gave this one 3 stars. So I kind of talked a bit about like how it just felt like it was so many different plot lines just all in one book. I hold to that. After finishing this book, I don't remember a thing about it, and I don't really care. 3 stars. This is one of the biggest reasons I decided to make this video. These are the books that I wanted to read in this video in the first place, if you were wondering. Better Than Revenge, Magnolia Parks, and Charlie, because they're all pink. That's the whole reason I wanted to read them in this video. This book, I went through so many emotions in the span of what was it? 420 pages or something? 430 pages. First, let me just say, there is so much swearing in this book. I'm not picking any of the chapters where it has the swearing, but like, so much swearing. Like, there's a couple pages where it's just back to back to back to back to back. Like, this is not a book for children. This is not a book for teens. I would advise even adults to go into this book cautionly. But I have to say, her writing style, it's like music. It's like music. It's like I'm reading a poem into my brain, but the poem is just this horrible, toxic, wonderful world that just like, it feels like it imprints on you, like Renesmee. It imprinted on me. It's not the other way around. I didn't do this. It imprinted on me, and now I can't go without thinking about it. And I cried so hard at the end of this book. You know, it was the last clip. Like, I'm like simultaneously longing to finish the series. Like, I need to know what happens to these characters because they're such deep members of my soul at this point. But at the same time, the pain I went through while reading that book was real. I genuinely could not sleep well for like 2 nights because of this book. And then I also know I can't just go and listen, like, I can't just read the next Magnolia Parks book. I have to read the Daisy Hates book, because it's going to open up the world more, and I know it's really important to understand this book to read Daisy Hates. But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know if physically I can handle that soon. It would have to be in like a month, because it hurt me so badly to read this book, but I desperately want to know what happens next. And it's so toxic. It's so toxic. This is worse than marshmallow fluff. It's like eating poison nettles or something, but it tastes sweet or something. it's just not good for you. It's like physically not good for me. And also it has so much swearing in it, and it just gets on my nerves. And there's so much. There are definitely sex scenes in this book. Not like terribly descriptive, but there's definitely sex scenes in this book, and they reference it many times over the course of this book. So just go into that with a little bit of a warning, because I knew it was in there, but I didn't know it was in there that much. I didn't know it's a whole part of the plot was just there. Anyway, those are my opinions. I'd have to say I read some real good romance books, and I read some books, and I read some things that I can't absorb. I have to say that song is BJ and Magnolia. You needed me, but you needed drugs more, and I couldn't watch it happen. I changed into goddesses, villains, and fools, changed forms and lovers and outfits and rules, all to outrun my desertion of you, and you just watched it happen. I have to say, I also was listening to Olivia Rodrigo while I was reading this book. I was just like, I want to listen to Olivia Rodrigo. Every single song was BJ and Magnolia. Traitor, BJ and Magnolia. What is it? I hope you're happy, not like how you were with me. I'm selfish, I know, I can't let you go. So find someone great, but don't find someone better. I hope you're happy, but don't be happier. I know everyone says that there's like Taylor Swift songs, and I think there's like Gracie Abrams songs that are BJ and Magnolia, but I have to say Olivia Rodrigo. Every single song I've been listening to, because I've just been in Olivia Rodrigo mood ever since reading that book. It's just Magnolia Parks now. I'm never gonna get over that. I'm on the verge of tears thinking about it right now. I'm not even kidding. I also don't have my contacts in or my glasses, so the world is kind of fuzzy right now because I just finished reading a book, and it's never good to read a book without my glasses. Don't know why I made that decision, but I did. Yeah, I think we're gonna call that quits here because I'm tired and I need to go to bed. I can't believe I just talked so much about these books. I'm gonna talk about them more when I film my wrap up in like 3 days. And I will be tired of talking about Magnolia Parks anytime soon. I understand. I fully understand it now. I know this was a full-on reading video for so many other books, but it's just Magnolia Parks in my brain. It was the last book I read. It's taken over my brain and my thoughts and my waking hours. I don't really recommend it ever to anyone. I would not wish that pain on anyone. But also, if you want that pain, it is a book. For sure. Rachel Catherine, why did you have to make Magnolia Parks seem so good? I know it's gonna get better, but I just don't know if I can go through that pain. Anyway, can you tell I'm traumatized? Not traumatized, I'm just like, I can't. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I'm so tired. I need to do something else other than read romance, because I read so many romance. Although I also haven't read a lot of fantasy. What was it like? I read 1, that's 2 fantasy, and then I read most of this series, so it evened out in there somewhere. Anyway, thanks for watching. I had a very good Valentine's Day and a Valentine's book reading. I hope you like this video in March. We'll see what my video that I film in March is. That will come out in April, probably. We'll see. I love you guys. I hope you all had a good Valentine's week, and let me know if you read any books that you loved or you think I should read. Please don't tell me to read Daisy Hates immediately, though. I will read it. It's gonna be a bit, okay? Love y'all. Bye. Mwah.